I walked into an empty house. Not empty in the usual way, the kind where silence hums in corners and dust settles in peace. No, this was wrong. Chairs pushed back, plates untouched, the faint smell of last week's cooking hanging like a lie. "Grandpa?" My voice sounded small, distant. He was in the kitchen, staring out the window, hands gripping the counter. He didn't turn, just said, "Trust me, they won't like when I'm done." I froze. My phone buzzed. A message from Dad. "We spent your $7,000 on a family vacation. Have fun." I read it twice, 3 times, each repetition hollowing me out. My blood didn't rise. It simmered. Behind my eyes, a storm. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. Instead, I sat, quiet, watching Grandpa's shoulders tense, waiting. He poured coffee for both of us without a word. The clock ticked loud in my head, and then he said it. "You'll see soon enough." The words weren't comforting. They were a warning. I didn't sleep that night. Didn't leave my room. My thoughts were sharp, cutting. The betrayal wasn't just the money. It was the disregard, the entitlement, the smug assumption that my generosity was a tool they could use, discard, and walk away from. I replayed every memory of their smiles, every laugh that had felt warm, every time I had thought I was family. None of it mattered. I needed proof. Not because Grandpa said so, not for anyone else. I needed it for myself, to see the truth, cold and undeniable. So I started watching. Texts, calls, small habits. The patterns they thought invisible. I cataloged everything. Carefully, clinically. I didn't feel rage, not yet. Only focus. Only the quiet assessment of how far I'd been underestimated. Grandpa watched me like a hawk. Said nothing. Let me navigate the maze I didn't yet know I was inside. I found the first discrepancy that morning. A reservation, booked in secret. Names, dates, amounts, lies stacked neatly like bricks. And somewhere beneath the anger, beneath the shock, a plan began to form. Not a chaotic explosion. A precise, surgical dismantling of their assumptions. I smiled once, quietly, to myself. They had no idea I'd already won. By the third day, I had everything I needed. Phone records, confirmations, even receipts tucked neatly in my notebook. Each detail a thread, and I held the scissors. Grandpa didn't intervene. He just nodded when I showed him a line or two of evidence. No praise, no concern, just quiet affirmation, letting the storm build behind my eyes. I called Dad, casual, light. Nothing in my tone betrayed the depth of what I knew. "Hey, just checking on the trip details," I said. His voice carried the usual cheer, the practiced arrogance. That's when I knew. That's when I saw the cracks forming. I didn't shout, didn't accuse. I let him talk himself into a corner. Every word he said, every laugh, every excuse, only tightened the noose I'd constructed. Then I handed him the folder. Simple, thick, clean. "Explain this," I said. No inflection, no heat. He froze. His smile faltered. Sweat appeared where I didn't expect it. I don't know what you mean." I let the silence stretch. Let him drown in it. Every heartbeat of his panic echoed in the room, but I remained detached, almost bored. "You spent my money, lied, hid it, planned it like it was nothing," I said. His defenses crumbled, disbelief turning into pleading. I'm sorry. It was just a family trip." I cut him off with a single gesture. The folder landed on the table. The evidence didn't need words. DNA tests, reservations, receipts, photographs. Everything meticulously gathered. Proof of every betrayal. I watched him shrink. Saw him finally see me. Not as the child he could manipulate, not as the fool he assumed I was, but as someone precise, calculated, unshakable. Then I left, just like that. No argument, no yelling, no explanation. Just a slow, deliberate walk out the door. Grandpa stayed behind, watching. I didn't look back. By the time I returned home 5 days later, I received messages. They were desperate, crying, begging, promises of change, empty gestures, meaningless to me now. I didn't respond. I poured myself a drink, sat in the quiet, and let it settle. The storm within me had passed. Clarity remained. Power remained. I had seen the truth. I had held it in my hands. I had controlled the outcome, and I walked away untouched. They were left with the ruins of their arrogance. I was left with cold certainty. No apologies, no reconciliations, only the knowledge that I would never be underestimated again. The truth had been exposed. The betrayers had fallen. And I, calm, unbroken, moved forward.